What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Sheehan Show. Me, Sean Sheehan, here on Sherdog.com, and I'm absolutely delighted to be joined today by Liz Carmouche, who takes on Jena Bishop in the PFL finale on August 15th this year. Liz, thank you very much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. How are preparations going for August 15th?
Thank you. Preparations are going great. I'm excited to be a part of the finale and making it there.
There was obviously a big PFL at the weekend where Costello van Steenis got the big finish with only a few seconds late, and when that happened, I immediately thought of your fight against Watanabe, and you beat him because you did it with 8 seconds left, and he had 9 seconds left. What's it? Can you explain to people when that's obviously so new for all of us now? What's it like in that position when you just have to go for it and you get it, and the joy that comes out, I assume, after that?
Yeah, I don't think it's really easy to put an explanation on the emotions that you go through, but that this is make it or break it moment, right? And the time's running out, and I think even in that moment, I really didn't realize how much time I had left. I think I probably would have freaked out had I known that there was that little time left to be able to pull out the win and do what I needed to do. But to come out of it and just have that moment felt great, knowing that I was advancing going forward and that I'd done exactly what I needed to accomplish.
So it was around this time last year I spoke to you, and it's funny, we talked about I suppose the second half of your career where you obviously went to Bellator now in PFL and got so many finishes and have had such a great second half, I suppose, to your career. Is it not like most people when they get to this stage of their career, they have less fights in a year? But for you, you've had more fights. 3 fights last year, 3 fights this year might turn into 4 fights. Is that something that you've always wanted to do, or were you hoping maybe to slow down at this stage?
Honestly, at the beginning of my fight career, I want to say the first year, I think I had 8 fights, and I thought that that would be the tempo of my career. And so in the beginning, I thought that that's what it would be. 3 fights, that's ridiculous. That's not enough. Now that I've experienced all the in between from only 1 fight a year to waiting constantly to 3 fights, I definitely like the tempo of always staying ready. But it's a surprise to me now that I've experienced the lows in the career to have so many more fights now in the later years.
I suppose you're in a unique position as well as someone who's been a professional now for, I think it's 15 years at this stage, coming from a place, obviously you're the first woman to ever step into the octagon, as we all know, to like the early days, as I said, where you fought 8 times, first ever Invicta a card as well, to strike for. How much has women's MMA changed? Like just from the level of preparation, the level of opponent, the level of technique. It must be absolutely insane. And you've been at the forefront of it all along.
Yeah, it's been a huge change. I think from the understanding of what is expected of women to fight MMA. From you figure we had shorter rounds, we weren't allowed to elbow the head. Refs were so quick to stop it the moment a woman took even a little bit of damage, to now they're being treated as equally as the men. And if it takes 16 blows to finish a guy, it's going to take 16 blows to finish a woman. It's the same, and they're treated as equals. And I think that that's a huge difference as well. Seeing all the divisions opening up, the skill level, the women go out, women headlining cards, co-main events, like that's a huge difference because that was a rarity when I started. It was mostly, if you're going to see a main event, it was only men. You weren't going to see women. And now so often we see women, they're the ones headlining cards, and people are excited about that and tuning in for them. It's not like, oh, that's going to cost the organization, nobody's watching it. No, people want to see the women fight because they know they're going to go out there and put on a great performance.
Do you think the sport of MMA actually helped in that? Because like other sports, I suppose like around here there's soccer or football, and it's not as accepted, and or people don't don't watch the men's game on a Saturday and the women's game on a Sunday and things like that. It's just not the done thing. Whereas in MMA, I feel like, and I'll throw the question to you: do you think it was accepted straight away? Because to me it felt like it was, but obviously you're in a better position to tell.
It was not accepted right away, even slightly. Not at all. Like I said, when you have refs, for one, women couldn't do elbows to each other in the head, right? When they had shorter rounds, the refs were stopping it. They take 2 punches on the ground, the woman's completely fine, but they're stopping the fight because society couldn't handle watching women take the damage, right? And then we have to fast forward as that's changed and seeing that women are just as tough as men. No, it's absolutely changed. It was not always like that. It was not accepted. I can't count how many gyms I'd walk into where they're like, "Oh, we don't train women. You have to go somewhere else." Or, "Oh, okay, cool, but then you have to go through this tryout, even though if you're already a pro." No, it was not where it is today. It's come a long, long way.
When did that change? Did it change when obviously your first fight in the UFC? Was it around then, or did it take a little bit longer than that?
I'd say that my fight in the UFC definitely started to change the wave of things. And I think that seeing that gave women more confidence to think that if they ever thought about fighting, they didn't think they had a future in fighting. And then when they saw that fight against Ronda, it gave them the possibility for a dream that they never even saw as an opportunity to happen. So I think that that's what really changed it. And then it brought respect to other people and understanding the work ethic that women have and that they're so consistent and they're so willing to learn that it brought more acceptance in the gyms to have more women there.
Just on yourself, then, on like the changes and improvements you've been making over the years. The Lira Joanna fight, they said on commentary that you had changed your the way you prepare physically and the training and stuff. And then the fight happened, and they're like, sometimes, that's said, and then you see a fight and it's like, there's no difference. With your fight, it was like, oh my God, what has happened here? Look, like completely different. And you're always like a physically very, very good fighter. But it looked completely different. It looked so much better. Did you feel better? What were the changes that were made? Can you explain how that changed so quickly and how you looked, so, not that you didn't look good before, but you looked so amazing in that Lira Joanna fight?
Yeah, so at the end of after my fight last year in PFL, I hired a different strength and conditioning coach because I had been doing all my own programming myself, and that's something I was doing, but it is not my strength. It's not my professional job, so I was definitely missing the mark with it, not having gone to school for it. And then the same thing with my nutrition. I felt like I was always mentally having to push myself in practices and something was not quite right. Like I did all the research, I had great recovery, but I just felt like I was gassed and it was mentally just getting myself through practices rather than my body was refreshed and ready to go. So I knew I needed to do something different. Thankfully, I connected with Jana and then Harry, and he was my strength and conditioning coach. She's my nutrition coach. And that's what they do for their full-time job. On the side, they also do combat sports themselves and compete in it. So they have a whole different perspective on what they bring into it and understanding how important those elements are. And so I put full trust in them and they've helped me so much. And I definitely noticed the difference entering into the camp and then the recovery post camp and then day to day how I felt. And then, of course, you could see it in my performance on being able to be as mentally sharp and as physically present as possible in the fight to go out there and give everything I had.
Was there a tactical adjustment in approach as well? Because that fight, you obviously it was like you went out just to kill, and it was obviously very quick. But the Laura Dana fight, then I remember writing in my notes at the time when I was covering the fight that I've never seen a fighter have so much fun in there. It felt like you wanted to entertain in that fight. Was that a change too? Was it like I want to go out here and I want to have fun fights as well as using my physicality?
Yeah, that's definitely something we talked about at the start of last year. Is like talking with the coaches, and they're like, "Look, you have accomplished. You had the belt in Bellator. You're in a different organization now. Go out there and have fun. Go out there and try the crazy stuff that you're willing to do in sparring and in practices, and that you do with training partners. Go out there and show them all of that. And have fun in the fights. Don't be so serious and be hard on yourself. Like you've done everything that you're supposed to do. You've made a career. At this point, just have fun and enjoy every single fight." And so that's what I've been trying to do is just go out there and like have my bucket list finishes that I want to be able to achieve and going out there and just trying to showcase everything that I learned about fighting and every opportunity I have to go out there and demonstrate it.
Speaking of that Bellator belt, you're still the Bellator champion. I think you're like, because some people, it felt like they were coming over and they were becoming the PFL champion, and or we thought that might happen. It looks like that isn't happening now. What's the story with the Bellator championship? Is that just gone? Are you the last ever Bellator champion? Are you still the champion? Do you know?
I mean, as far as I know, nobody came and beat me to get that belt, so I'm still the Bellator champion. But I think that once Bellator's doors closed and that organization closed, I think that's it. I was the last one, and there's going to be no more mention of Bellator going forward. Right now, it's just going to be PFL and how all that works into things.
Let's talk about Jena Bishop. Obviously, the fight coming up August 15th. I want to ask you about fighting a southpaw when you are a southpaw? Usually we talk to orthodox fighters about fighting southpaws. But what is it like for you to fight another southpaw? Is there some adjustments and changes in camp that you have to make? Is it awkward for you as well, like it is for the orthodox fighters, or is it more normal for you?
Yeah, thankfully, I come from a fight camp where the expectation is that we all train in both stances, whether you're ambidextrous, whether you are orthodox, southpaw, it doesn't matter. Everybody trains in both stances. So for me, it's not uncomfortable, but I do know, having trained with her before, that she does not know how to train against another southpaw. So I think she's going to have a really awkward situation. Whether I come out orthodox or I come out southpaw, I think that she's not going to really know how to adjust for my fight style.
Is that adjustments in the striking or the wrestling as well? Because I know I heard Damian Maya speaking about it before, that he prefers fighting southpaws because they give him the lead leg that he wants rather than the lead leg that he doesn't want. Do you think that might be an issue for her as well? Obviously, she's a very good wrestler and has wrestled a lot in her fights. Is that a part of it as well as the striking?
Yeah, I do think that she's probably going to, expect from an orthodox standpoint, have a comfort level in being able to take that leg. But I know we both trained with Justin Flores, and he has us do both stances as well when it comes to takedowns. So I don't think that it's going to be as difficult as one might think. I think that she'll probably be fine and have, like a lot of people I know, if they strike southpaw, they feel comfortable doing their shots as an orthodox. So I think for her, that would actually probably play to her strong suits better, if anything.
How often did you train together? Was it a day to day, year to year thing, or was it only kind of a once off?
It was pretty much just like once off here and there throughout both of our careers, where we had a chance to spar against each other.
And have you any insights in how they went?
I definitely enjoyed the experiences way more than she did. Let's put it that way.
Okay. How do you think this fight is going to go? Because we've seen, with her fights or your fights, sometimes they're striking matchups, sometimes they happen on the ground. How do you think this one is going to go? If you're to, okay, give us a prediction how you think it'll end, but how do you think, let's say if this fight goes 10, 15 minutes, what will it look like?
Yeah, I think that she's going to be pretty desperate to want to get to the ground. I think, like you see, kind of similar with her fight with Kana Watanabe, she doesn't want to be in striking exchanges. When you watch her against anybody that's striking her, she doesn't want to be standing. That's not her comfort level. Regardless if she's in a stance she feels comfortable in, that's not where she wants to be. She wants to be able to get into tie-ups, dirty box, and ultimately take it to the ground. So I anticipate that that's where it's ultimately going to go, assuming that I don't knock her.
So we just broke up there for a second, but we're back. Last couple of questions is I really appreciate the time. Dakota Ditcheva obviously won at the weekend, and it looks like the winner of your fight with Jena is going to be fighting Dakota Ditcheva next. What are your thoughts in Dakota? Is that a fight you're kind of looking forward to maybe at the end of the year?
Yeah, I think it's not only a fight that I'm looking forward to, I think it's a fight that the fans and the media are looking forward to. When you see, there's been a lot of mention about having a fight for the president at the White House, open yard, and one of the fights that they mentioned, and one of the only female fights mentioned, is myself and Dakota. I think both of us know, and everybody knows, that we can put on the performance that people want to see and showcase all the elements of MMA, and do so in like a really engaging and bloody way. And I think that's a great matchup and one I'm really looking forward to.
A lot of people are saying about her at the moment that she's unbeatable, that she's the best female fighter in the world. Do you see a way that you can go in there and take her out?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think she's the best in the world. I think there are way more talented flyweights out there. And I think that if one thing Sumiko showed is everybody counted Sumiko out in the very beginning of the first round. And the fact that they went to decision when, and she might have won, but it wasn't quite in the dominant way that people were anticipating of a quick finish. So I think that just shows that she's not quite the fighter that people think she is.
Last question is I really, really appreciate the time. You're looking as good as ever in there as a fighter. You're fighting for a championship in a couple of weeks' time. You could be the champion again, fighting one, as I said, Dakota Ditcheva soon after. How long more do you fancy doing this? Like, 'cause it doesn't look like you're going to be stopping anytime soon. But when you come to, I suppose, this age and this level of experience, usually that's the question: when is retirement coming? Have you even thought about retirement? Is it a date you've set in the future, or have you any plans for it?
No, I think that when you focus on an end, then you lead yourself to the end. And again, I'm not slowing down. I haven't got any slower. I'm not making mistakes that what people would anticipate for me. So until that's happened, I don't need to start knocking on the retirement door.
Well, I really appreciate the time. Thank you very much. Anyone's watching her, please check out Liz's fight, August 15th, PFL 9 in the co-main event against Jena Bishop. Liz, best of luck and thank you very much again for the time.
Thank you.